How we doing, Kipsters? Mr. Agnew here. Got my little nameplate out here, my orange sunglasses and my ruler, ready to go. Make sure you get your pencil and paper, maybe some markers if you'd like. And here's sort of my opening little line. Life can be hard. Wear a helmet and keep pedaling. I miss you guys. Let's get into some math today. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need to take notes. A special shout out to those students that have been sending me their pictures of their notes and their charts for our math lessons. Super, super helpful. Okay, remember, pause if you need to. I do apologize. I live near an Air Force base, so you may hear some jets fly over. If they do, I'm just going to pause, let the noise pass, and then keep going. All right, so here's our objective today. We will be able to partition circles and rectangles into equal parts as halves, thirds, or fourths. So be able to partition circles and rectangles into equal parts as halves, thirds, or fourths. Pause it if you need to, but that's our goal for today. We got a few shapes that we'll start to divide. All right, so let's talk about what our vocabulary words are. First one, partition. Here comes a jet. All right, partition. To divide or separate into equal parts to create a fraction. To divide or separate into equal parts to create a fraction. Remember, equal means the same as. Equal means the same as. Here comes a jet. See if you can hear it. Halves. This one right here. Halves. Two equal parts. Two equal parts. You may also see this symbol. Two equal parts for halves. For thirds. For thirds. Three equal parts. And you may notice this symbol right there. 1 out of 3. That would be 1/3. And the final vocabulary word, fourths. Fourths is 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts. Partition, to divide or separate into equal parts. Equal, we know that one. That's the same as halves, 2 equal parts. Thirds, 3 equal parts. Fourths, 4 equal parts. Cool. Pause that if you need to write your chart, take your notes. Remember, those notes are super helpful, especially when you get to your exit ticket. All right. Let's start to partition into some of these shapes. Here's a chart. I would love for you to work with your chart to create this sort of visual help when you get to your exit ticket, and also some of our further questions down the line. All right, partitioning shapes equally. Remember, equally means everyone is going to be the same size. Halves. Halves. This whole column, we're going to divide these 3 shapes into halves. Halves. One line to divide into 2 equal parts. And then I'm going to shade one of those parts. Halves. The rectangle, still in halves. Shading one of those parts. The other rectangle, as long as there's 2 equal shapes, or 2 equal sizes to our shape, this will be half. 2 parts, halves. The next one, thirds. Remember thirds. Okay? We went back. We talked about partitioning shapes into equal sides, and we did the halves. 2 equal parts. Now we're doing thirds. 3 equal parts. Remember, you can always pause it, guys, especially if I'm going a little bit too fast. Let's put that back there. I like that there. Okay? Thirds. That means we need to divide this circle into 3 equal parts. And it can be tricky. I always start with my point in the center for my circle. I'm going to put one line here. And I'm going to put one line kind of over here. Now I have 1, 2. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Let's try it over here. Thirds. They got to be equal parts, so equal sizes. Let's do like this. And now I have here 1, 2. There it is. There it is. So third should have been like this. Boom, boom, boom. And then we shade in one side. This one might be the trickiest one to make a circle into thirds. 1/3 is shaded. Next one, thirds. So we need to make 3 equal parts. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to shade in one part. 1/3. So this is third. This one right here. You might hear the jet. 1, 2, 3. Are they all the same size? Yes, they are. They are partitioned. They are partitioned into equal size shapes. Shade in 1. And now that shows 1 out of 3 is shaded. Next one, fourths. 4 equal parts. This one's going to be a little bit easier. Right down the middle and across. 4 equal parts. This is 1/4. This is 1/4. This side is 1/4. And this side is 1/4. So we have 1/4 shaded. This is kind of like a square or a rectangle. I'm going to do just right here. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you wanted to make yours sideways, that would be completely fine too. This also works. That's the way I just did it. This also works. 1 skinny piece, 2 skinny piece, 3 skinny piece. If I shade in only 1, that would be 1 out of 4. It does not really matter which way you divide your shape as long as they are all equal pieces. Equal pieces, equal pieces. These are the same size. These are the same size. These all 3 are the same size. Fourths. I'm going to divide this one into 4. Down the middle first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shading in 1, 1/4. Perfect. So remember, when you think of halves, the number that should pop to your mind is 2. 2 sides. When you think of thirds, the number you should think of is 3. The 3 parts. And fourths, 4. Like 4 quarters making a dollar. 4, 3, 2. All right. Let's see what we got. Now I'm going to give you some non-examples. Some that don't work. Remember when I made my circle the first time? It didn't quite work out and I had to do it over here correctly. I'm going to show you what non-examples look like. Non-examples of shapes that have not been partitioned equally. So I'm going to divide this into 2 parts, but I'm going to show you how this is a non-example. This is not correct. I'll show you why. Notice, I have one piece right here, and the rest of the other side of the circle is a huge piece. So that is not half because they are not equal. Thirds. Skinny piece, a little bit bigger, and a huge piece. They're not the same size, so that is not 1/3. 1/4. Let's do like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can tell that all the pieces are not the same size. That does not work. Half. Nope, not the same size. How about if we go this way? Nope, that does not work because they are not the same size. Another one, let's see, what about kind of like an angle? What if I make my pieces at an angle, Mr. A? No, that still doesn't work because that is not the same size. Same with these. Same with these. Another one that's half. Does not work. Okay, so these are non-examples. Remember, the pieces have to be the same size pieces. That's very, very important. Same size pieces. All right. This is the chart. This is the chart that I'd like you to take another look at, and you can pause the video if you want to help make your chart. Remember, this column is halves. This column, thirds. This column, fourths. Pause it if you need to. If you need to go back to your vocabulary list, let's take a look at our vocabulary. To partition is to divide or separate. We learned that. Equal, the same as. Halves, 2 equal parts. Thirds, 3 equal parts. Fourths, 4 equal parts. Okay? All right. Now we're going to talk about labeling parts of the fraction. Because you won't just see them divided, you'll also see them labeled. So I'm going to label half. There goes the jet. I'll pause if we need to. Let's divide it into half. This is 1/2. This is also 1/2. I'm shading in 1/2. Okay? 1/2 is shaded. 1/2 is not shaded. Okay? Let's do another one. What if I divide it this way? I'm going to do it into 4 pieces. Okay? So this, 1/4. This is 1/4. This is 1/4. And this is 1/4. Now this time, I'm actually going to shade in 2 pieces. 1, 2. So 2/4 are shaded, and 2/4 are not shaded. I know I squeezed that little E in. Okay, let's do another one. I'm going to let you try this one if you'd like. I'll give you a little pause and a little bit of moment. I want you to shade in 3/4 pieces. I'll label them all. This is 1/4, this is 1/4, this is 1/4, this is 1/4. I want you to shade 3/4. Shade 3/4. Pause it. Give you a try. When you're ready, push play back again. I'm going to shade this one. That's 1/4. This one is 2/4. This one is 3/4. So I shaded 3/4. On this one, I want you to show me 1/3. 1/3 and label each piece. Give you a little moment to try. Pause it if you need to, And then here I go. 1, 2, 3 pieces. This is 1/3. This is 1/3. This is 1/3. Let's shade in one of the pieces. 1/3 is shaded. 1, 2 out of the 3 pieces are not shaded. All right. Next one. Let's do fourths. 1/4. I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna do here. You might have done it like this. As long as the pieces are equal. All 4 of these are 1/4. All 4 of these are 1/4. Okay, each one of those pieces is 1/4, and let's shade in one of them. Okay, great. Let's shade in 2 of them. Great. 3 of them. Now we shaded in 3/4. Now what happens if I shade it all in? If I shade all 4 pieces out of the 4 pieces, if we shade them all in, that is called a hole. And you'll see how that shows down here. That is called a hole. Alright, so it really doesn't matter how many pieces it's equally divided into. Right here, this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now this is 1/5, this is 1/5, this is 1/5, this is 1/5, this is 1/5. All 5 pieces, if they're all shaded in. If I shaded in all pieces, that equals a hole. All pieces equal a hole. So this one right here, I have it divided into halves. This is 1/2, this is 1/2. Let's shade the whole thing. Because what we actually did is we shaded 2 pieces and they were divided into halves. So 2 out of 2, notice, 4 out of 4 equals a hole, 2 out of 2 equals a hole, 5 out of 5 equaled a hole. If you shade the whole thing, all the pieces, that would be a hole. All right. Pause it if you need to. I know that's a lot of work, but we can figure it out from there. All right, next one. Here we go, green page. Getting close to the end, guys. Shading more than one part. I'm going to let you try these, okay? I want you both shapes to show 2 out of 4, and both shapes to show 3 out of 4. I'm going to pause it for a sec, let you catch up, and then we'll go back through. All right. I need to make it into 4 equal pieces. Now we're 2 pieces. Now we're 4 pieces. Let's label them. That's the next step. So this is 1 out of 4. 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 And I want you to shade 2 of them. 2. You might also notice that this looks very similar to our half. Notice 2 out of 4 is the same as 1/2. Next one. 4 pieces. Let's label it. And let's shade 2. That's the same as it might look like this. If I only divided it into 2 pieces, and I shaded all the top, that equals 1 out of 2. It looks very similar to equal 2 out of 4. Okay? Shade more than one part. 3 out of 4. Making 4. Let's label it. 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4. We're going to shade 3. Perfect. Just like that. This one I'm going to let you try. 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. Let's make 4. You can divide it any way you'd like as long as they are equal pieces. I'd label it 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4. All those are labeled. Each piece is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. And we're going to shade how many of them? 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom, just like that. Okay, remember, I want to see your notes. Special shout out, Annalisa, Justin, Kylie. Thank you for submitting your charts on the previous videos. Here we go, partitioning shapes equally. This is the one I would like to see. Pause it if you need to. Remember, they have to be equal sizes. This is a tricky one. Vocabulary. Partition, equal, halves, thirds, fourths. Now let's talk about your exit ticket. I'm going to fold this over so you only get to see the exit ticket. Alright. Exit ticket. Number 1 on your exit ticket. Now you can click to the next step on our Google Classroom to find our exit ticket, but I want to kind of review it real quick. Number 1, you need to pick the shape that has 2 of the halves shaded. 2 of the halves shaded. Number 2, you'll need to label this one. What would each of those what would the shaded fraction be? How many pieces were there and how many were shaded out of those pieces? And the third one, we want you to show the shape that is 1/4 shaded. That's it. 1/4 shaded. Those 3 problems for your exit ticket. Alright kids, that's it. That's what I got. We did a lot today. There's a lot on these videos. Let's go back through it real quick just in case. Alright, first thing we want to do is our objective. Partition, to divide, to separate. Equal parts, they are all the same. Every single section is the same, whether you do halves, whether you do thirds, or whether you do fourths. Vocabulary to review. This is the chart I would like you to send me. Here are some non-examples. And the key for this non-example, they were not partitioned equally. This piece was too small. These aren't the same size. These aren't the same size. Even at the corner, it's not the same size. None of these are the same size, even though there's 2 pieces. They gotta be the same size pieces. Okay? And we labeled some. And we talked about shading more than one piece. If all the pieces are shaded, it's a whole. Okay? Alright guys, that's all I got. Let me know if you need any help. Reach out. You can call or text Class Dojo. Send me a picture. Google Classroom. But we're here for you. That's it. Gracias. Love you guys.